So, I hope you all had a good Christmas, or if you don't celebrate Christmas, good 25th of December, and oh, happy Hanukkah! Today I'm going to be talking about a very cool thing that I got to do. I choreographed a music video! Now this video won't make any sense unless you have seen it, so go over to Libby's channel and watch it. I'll link that here and here and here, I'll link it everywhere. And also subscribe while still there, because Libby is great. So I thought in this video that I would talk about the choreography process. Basically, what happened was Jake, aka Libby's manager, he messaged me and was like, hey, do you want to maybe choreograph a music video? And I was like, are you joking? Of course I want to. He was like, cool, it's gonna be in 2 weeks. I was like, cool, that'll be interesting. And then with the way dates worked out, it was more like a week and a half. So that was an interesting challenge, but it was fine. I also managed to write an essay at the same time. I'm quite proud of myself. So the main thing about this music video, of course, is that it's in 360, which was so different to choreographing for normal stage. It was a huge limitation. I had to always think in circles, and also the fact that it was filmed in a flat, so I had to constantly think about where furniture was and where the camera was. And then of course there was the infamous split line. Oh my god, split line became the buzzword of the day. The 360 camera works by having two cameras kind of like this, if they're facing out that way, and they're 180 degrees. So it means that you've got two videos and you join them together. But where they join, it's not really noticeable, but basically there's a little bit of a yucky area. So we couldn't do too much movement in that split line. And that was really hard to choreograph for, because on the one hand, 360 video is about moving the viewer, but then there was this awkward line where I couldn't do anything. So what I had to do was kind of make sure that the movements across that line were the fastest movements, and then the main stuff happened nowhere near the split line, and that was interesting. But all of these limitations meant that the fact it was in 360 was actually the main driving force for my choreography and how it inspired me. Okay, I didn't have the freedom that I would have on stage, but it gave me a starting point. So, the process of the choreography. Basically, I was given a story and a scenic breakdown in terms of like what section of the song it was. The first thing I did mostly was work out the pathways. With the third scene, where it's all three of us, it's very complicated, and there's people following people and blah 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 blah. So I had to first start off working out the pathways and where everyone was gonna be, and then I could think about the actual moves. And that was where Susanna came in, and she was an absolute star, because she has a background in gymnastics, I have a background in dancing, and I basically kind of went to her, hey, so what can you do? We just worked for several hours together. She thought about various moves, I thought about how we could join them together. It was very much a collaborative process. I could not have done it without her. But then when it came to the actual crux of the choreography, then it was a bit more traditional in terms of how I would go about doing a dance. I like to look at two main things. The first one is the words. What is the person saying? Can you recreate what they're saying? Which gets very interesting if it's an emotion. The next thing that I look at when I'm choreographing, recreating the music through the movement. What I kind of envisage when I choreograph is each person being a different part of the music. Now that was something that was really helpful for the third scene. There's kind of two different stories going on. There's Ed and Susanna, and then there's me. So what I did was I choreographed their section to the violins, so they had like different rhythms, different style, whereas I choreographed my section to the words, because I was meant to be playing Libby's character, i.e. the person who is singing. My part that I play in the music video, I essentially do the same thing, the same pattern of movements from the verse and the chorus 3 times, because I didn't have time to create something new and complicated for each scene. Probably to anyone else, if they saw just my part and they really like looked at it carefully, they would probably see very different things, but to me, I see the same thing 3 times over, because that's how my brain was thinking of it. And that was a really interesting facet from the point of view of a performer, because instead of focusing on different moves, I decided to focus on how changing the dynamic of the movement and how changing my facial expression or whatever would change the meaning of what I was showing. So that's a little bit about the process of the choreography. And then there was the day itself. It's interesting dancing on a film set. I have been on a film set before, but I've never danced. It was really weird. Because it's 360, all of the camera crew have to get out the room, which meant that it kind of felt like theatre in that you had to do the entire scene. And from a dancing perspective, this did make it quite hard because you would stop for a while as they set up the next scene or as they waited for the camera to cool down. And it meant that as dancers, we kind of had to warm up, dance, cool down again, warm up. It's easier to dance for 4 hours straight than it is to do 4 hours sort of split up. Kind of harder to get going again. We were knackered by the end of the day, but it was really good fun. It's also really nice to get some dancing onto YouTube, actually. I've been a dancer from the age of 5 and it's just been a staple of my life. It feels strange when I meet people who only know me through YouTube or who know me from singing stuff and they're like, you're a dancer? And to me that's like someone going, your name is Izzy? Like it's such an integral part of my life. So it's really nice to have finally got some dancing out and to have done it to Libby's gorgeous song. It was really very kind of both Jake and Libby to think of me and I'm very pleased I did. I had a lot of fun and I learnt a lot and it was a really interesting artistic challenge. And now it's out there and we're all really proud of it and I think it looks so good and I hope you guys agree. Let me know what you think. Go watch the video, subscribe to Libby, and I hope you enjoyed it. We worked really hard on it and I think it was worth it. Bye.